Welcome to Let's Take It Apart. Today we're going to test a wide-angle lens on the Canon Vixia HFS 200. The reason this belongs on Let's Take It Apart is because we're going to take the lens apart. Now the image you see right now is the standard wide-angle view from the Vixia itself. This is as far wide as it can get, being as close as it is. And what we're going to do is take a look at the newer, if it will get into focus, there we go, the newer wide-angle lens. Here's the lens itself. It's called a newer digital high definition 0.45x super wide angle lens with macro, made in Japan. Now the problem is that very macro setting, or macro lens. You can see at the bottom it says there's a macro, and we're going to attach this lens now to the camera and see what we get. Once again, there's the width you get from the normal view. Okay, here's the view with the macro and wide angle lens combination attached to the camera. Now you notice it is a wider picture, but it's not quite as wide as you might expect with a true wide angle lens, and that's because the macro lens is actually getting in the way. So what you need to do is take the macro lens off. So what we can do then is simply unscrew the macro lens from the back of the wide angle lens, and lo and behold, you have the wide angle lens. But if you notice, it's a female thread. So what you have to do is get yourself an adapter ring. So get yourself a macro reverse. The Canon Vixia HFS 200 takes a 58mm to 58mm male to male, and attach it to the back of your wide angle lens after you've taken the macro lens off, and you've got a true wide angle lens for your camera. Now that's real wide angle. You can see that without the macro lens, the wide angle lens is really wide. It does create some lens distortion. As you can see, the ESV Bible has a little bit of a curvature to this vertical part of the book, but you do get a real wide angle without having the macro lens get in the way. This seems to be a feature of most of the real cheapo wide angle lenses that you can get. I got one for another camera and had exactly the same issue. The macro lens, I don't know what it's doing in there, but it's in the way. And tests of the macro lens show that it doesn't really give you much advantage, because the Vixia series, the 20s, the 11s, the HFS 200, all get very close just with their own optics. So there you have it, for about $17 for the macro wide angle lens combo, and I think about $10 for the adapter ring, so 27 bucks. You have a nice wide angle lens. It does create some lens distortion, but if you need to get close and get wide, there's an answer for a few bucks. Thank you for joining us on Let's Take It Apart. See you again next time.